With it being a UK lineup they're up against, obviously, you've got to take that extra bias into account. So AGO will win the knife, probably pick to start things off on CT side here of Train. And yeah, let's see how the pistol round goes, I think.
Absolutely. I think for Endpoint, I'd like to see, especially Thomas stepping up. I know we spoke about him a little bit into the pregame, but I think that he needs to be coming up quite big into this map. See if he's able to shine like we've seen from him previously. But yeah, look, I think I think we've got to be looking at Fiku. I mean, he might not be the standout player to look out for, but I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for him in this best of one.
AGO have picked to start things off on CT side, so you know, a player to watch for the Endpoint side, I guess, before we jump into this one, because I know we talked a lot about Fiku, we talked a lot about MHL when saying that those two players would be the guys that we keep our eyes on, but who are you looking to see perform for Endpoint?
Yeah, definitely Thomas, for sure. I think even with the AWP, like I'd like to see the double AWPs coming out for Endpoint, but I've just never see it. Sometimes we see a Surreal with the AWP, but a lot of the time they just opt for it on Crucial. So yeah, look, I think I'm going to go over to Thomas. I want to see sort of his hard carry coming into this best of one. And, you know, we never know. There's always an upset potential in a best of one. And we've seen a few in Group A, but let's see if it will continue over in Group B.
AGO being the heavy favourites in this one, but let's see whether Endpoint can contest in this here. Dwayne, it's the pistol round getting started here with AGO on the CT star. Let's see what the setups look like. We've got Diffuse on Furlan with the smoke, Ninja set up for him. Everybody else with default pistols and Kevlar for the CT side. And over on the T side, we've got Mighty Max dropping the P250 to Surreal. Not going to flashbang. We've obviously seen Surreal on previous complexity lineups as well, and back here in the European scene, let's see whether he can contest here for this Endpoint side. Is Surreal taking that first face in with the P250, the raid boss out, backed up by the bomb, but a fast play out to the A bomb site, it seems. Thomas providing support here from the Pop Dog area, but Mighty Max takes that first kill. Oskarish turning around for a decent trade, but Surreal strikes back, Furlan with a decent trade of his own right on top of the blue Troma. Back up towards Ivy, it's a 3 versus 3, and backup has arrived in from Connector. MHL here looking for a decent headshot, but he just can't seem to land it off. Furlan tapping up, trying to do some damage. Crucial back around his corner. Groovy gets a frag. Crucial able to respond. Thomas turns into a 2-on-1, but the bomb's been dropped in Groovy's control. He's got headshots that he can take around his corner at Stopper, doing damage to Thomas, unable to get the kill, and in the end he gets forced back by the players on the train. Endpoint will eventually, with a little bit of struggle, get the pistol round.
Yeah, good pistol round coming out from Endpoint. They just chuck in the outer execution. And it looked to be in a pretty good position from AGO. They were in a 3 versus 3, but Endpoint were just able to sort of win out the gunfights towards the end of the round. Double scouts coming out on the force buy for AGO. Not a wacky tactic. It's quite a common setup to see on the city side of train. But Endpoint, this is an opportunity now for them to continue their lead. 3 AKs being brought up and just the 2 Mac 10s as well.
There's the 2 scouts out for MHL and Fun. Expected to see this weird force buy coming in from AGO. A lot of teams go for the second round forces, and the polls are no different, it seems. The Endpoint, very nice rifle bases here. 2 Mac 10s to deal with the head Kevlarless players, of which all 5 from AGO are. AK's in on 3, of course, as standard. Just waiting to hopefully see if they can find a bit of aggression from AGO. They're pretty passive overall from Endpoint. But nothing will seem to go their way. They'll just sit pretty on the AGO side and wait for the execution to come in, which looks like it's not too far away now as the smoke's up. Going on towards Connector, but nothing else for the crosses between the trains. Another one for Ivy as well. Thomas will take some damage, making his way out from the Pop Dog position, but now the T's have broken in. They'll look for a bomb plug pretty quick here.
I think good smokes coming down for the Endpoint side, but Furlan gets a little bit lucky getting a scout kill through that Ivy smoke. And Mighty Max actually gets taken down by the HE. That's massive to come out from Groovy.
The timing has been so well placed. They predicted it so well for Endpoint. Good scout shot as well, as you mentioned. A bit lucky from Furlan in the midst of the smoke, but now Oskarish going to make his way up as they find a position here in Connector. Crucial taking damage. MHL low. Oskarish is taken out by the Mac 10 of Robin. The Deagle's back in for Groovy. Denies one. Taps his way towards Robin. 10 seconds left. Furlan's to the backlines. A scout shot does not connect towards Crucial, and MHL can't deny the bomb plant from here. He won't go for the wall bang. He would have tried that though. He might have been able to deny against Robin's 16 HP. A bit of an unlucky scenario there. But either way, a decent force buy round from AGO. It will not be enough to capitalize in. They might be able to justify another force buy here, but I doubt they will. 2 rifles staying in play and upgrades will leave the economy of Endpoint very severely damaged.
I'll tell you what, that's actually, considering that AGO weren't able to win out that round, it looks pretty scary for Endpoint. The last 2 members that were staying alive were incredibly low. And I feel like Furlan on the flank got a little bit unlucky there with some of the timing. Especially with how low the clock was to get that bomb planted. But for Endpoint, they are able to deal with that force by Thomas as well. Some long-range sprays coming out with that Mac 10. That's going to be $1,200 in his bank. The HE going to follow up towards Top Dog. At least takes him out.
HE placement's been really good so far from HEO. You can't deny that much. And the one deny the bomb plant, and again, directly on towards that popped up position to get the kill on Thomas and damage Surreal even further. Had some extra weapons, could have seen an opportunity presenting itself here, but $1,200 gained by the Mac 10, so it's not too much of a worry here, Dweg. 3-0 on the board of the Endpoint side. And the rifle buys coming in. And there's that infamous double up setup you talked about so much in the pre-game. Furlan out over at Ivy, looking on towards main. MHL and Upper will try to take contact over on the B-bomb site. Stroke in, sees the head of the first and takes his first shot off, but unable to get the kill against him. Fika's taking damage over in Pop Dog. Meanwhile, actually Robin swings out and catches him off guard. Bit of a gap being left by the AGO defensive. Who had thought that someone would be covering off that main position. Fiku thought he was safe. Apparently he wasn't.
That was a really nice position coming out from Robin. They get the information that's played towards Pop Dog, and Robin just makes his way out. But it's going to be the B execution and Groovy and MHL to try and hold off. Groovy at least taking down 1, turning it into a 4 versus 4. But look how aggressive Thomas is. I love this reposition.
Not ready for the AWP though. Furlan swings out, gets a kill to a man advantage for the CT side. MHL following suit to leave it on 2. The bomb plant has been secured and Mighty Max is sitting on it. Gotta find one of these kills though, and none of them are going the way of the T side. Robin in a 1-on-4 now. He's found the first. No utility to deny a bomb defuse as well. They put the smokes up immediately and they'll just stick it. He's not even going to challenge. Leave this round to the clutches of AGO, even though he's got a 10-second defuse to try and contest with. Oscarish gonna hold his butt cheeks together, but in the end, won't have to do anything. Robin, knowing he couldn't win that, just leave that round and go to AGO, get the money bonus, keep the rifle in play most importantly, and get a confident buyback for Endpoint. And
the big thing is for AGO, those double orbs come out so early, and I expected the double orbs to come out, but maybe not this early into this first half. But look, it's a good sign, and it's something that works really well for this Polish lineup. So it's a good thing that Oscarich has adapted to maybe some of the previous styles from this lineup, and continued them under his IGLing abilities. Furlan towards Ivy with the AWP, while MHL is over in Con towards that B-bomb site.
Again, Fiku getting damaged initially, but look at the flicks from Furlan. Catching Crucial off guard. It's Thomas that finishes off Fiku as he nades him out. I think he was in that pop dog position once again. Actually, no, he was out in front of the red train. Get an opening kill once again for the Endpoint side to return to a 4-on-4. But these AWPs that they've struggled to deal with so far. The peaks have been good, the shots have been consistent, the flicks in particular from Furlan, obviously. The setup now for Endpoint looks to try and sell a fake towards that B bomb side. That is a beacon smoke. Actually, they might just go towards a B commitment in general. You know, they will siphon off the rotations here with the negative flames coming in as standard. But the information being given up by Thomas should allow enough of the info to go their way. MHL taking out Thomas here. The bomb plant yet to be secured. MHL going to miss the cross, but he will see the bomb. And Groovy going to sneak up here. Timing for the Krieg. My man's going to be ready for it. And still the kill comes in. The spray back on towards the player in the midst of the smoke. Robin will get taken out eventually. And Surreal is left standing all out in the open. A nice secondary round there for the AGO side. And again, it's all thanks to those AWPs getting the majority of the kills here.
Yeah, the AWP is having massive impact. Speaking about impact, though, Fiku really struggling on this A bomb site. I wonder whether they're actually going to rotate him off to a different position, because I feel like he's been playing towards Evox and Pop Dog quite a lot so far and hasn't really been able to find too much success. So we'll have to see whether they start to change up his position. Currently sitting 0 and 5 at the moment, Jay.
Oh, Furlan with the wall bang. Where did that come from? Was that over at the server?
Yeah, that was no, that was in T-Con. He was able to find that pick, so it might have just been like through the side of the train.
It is an eco cleanup, so it's not too much of a big deal. In the end, it was AGO expecting it to win out this round. Crucial with the Deagle, the last man standing back up over at the Ivy area. And there's probably no way that he's going to hold anything other than maybe a kill or two. 1-on-5 situation, and Endpoint will be equalized against AGO. A good start on this T side with the pistol and conversions going their way, but AGO have been able to respond pretty effectively again. It all started with that double AWP setup, you know. I keep talking about it, I realise that. Even the adjustments with the pistols as well. You saw MHL miss that AWP shot, and then the P250 still turns onto the head. Part of that was crucial, not really being able to land his shots with the Deagle, but I digress. The rifles are back in play for Endpoint. That's the important thing to note here. Of course, the AKs and Kriegs still out for them. They have got a Krieg on this T side, and that is a little bit concerning if you're Endpoint.
Yeah, especially on a map like Train, you often see that the Kriegs want to be upgraded, take those long-range fights. Thomas looks like he wants to go out towards T-Con extremely quickly. MHL's going to get that information. There's already 2 players in the hell position. Furlan's going to be able to find the first towards Ivy, MHL, and look at this shutdown coming out. Endpoint, they tried the quick outside presence in towards hell, and they find absolutely nothing. Robin finally gets 1 kill, but as soon as he finds information and 1 kill, Jay, he's traded instantly. And that's one thing that you can expect from this AGO lineup, is their trading ability is so incredibly fast.
Wow, that was over in an instant for Endpoint. They just got, as you say, shut down as they made their way out of T-Con. Certainly wanted to break down the specifics because they felt like they went too fast, and AGO just set up the brick wall very quickly of their own right. Back to eco status and maybe a half buy for a couple of players, the Kevlar and upgrade pistols, but looking at max loss bonus for Endpoint before they can get a buy in. The money can build as well for AGO. You know, the expensive weapons staying in every single time. The setups have now 2 Kriegs on their board. Things just get worse and worse, it feels like, for the Endpoint sides. The AWP focusing in from Furlan, again trying to look for this first kill out of T-Con. It's MHL that focuses and gets Surreal instead. 2 players lining up. Oscarish gets 1. MHL deals with the second. Robin, with a trade back on the Deagle at the very least, will drop 1 of the rifles, 1 of the Kriegs. AWP focusing around the corner for MHL, however, will just focus up Furlan with the P250 out. MHL will be able to deal with him. I wonder if Oscarish can get to that Krieg in time. He's not going to bother with it, just holding to the M4. So, something taken away for AGO. And Endpoint, you know, if they know about that, then they can be happy with it. But again, the main focus is going to be that buy. Do they buy an AWP? They've been pretty happy with the Kriegs and AKs so far. Crucial has the option available to him. And he does. Okay. Big green gun out for the T side now.
I think I'd like to see some Ivy control being taken from Endpoint. I think we've only seen it sort of 1 or 2 rounds that they've made presence there, but they haven't really been able to establish any kind of control. Endpoint struggling to find an opening man advantage in these last few rounds as well. Finally, Mighty Max is going to be able to open up early. HG's coming into Pop Dog, and Furlan's actually really aggressive with the AWP, but a good opening coming out for Mighty Max.
Furlan and MHL trying to chime back. MHL gets himself a quick double towards the back line, spotting out a third man, but can't quite connect the frag. Smokes are up on the bomb train. A counter smoke back to block off the cross, and Groovy now going to swing in with the Krieg. I think he sees 1 gun barrel. He knows that there's 1 player at red. AWP focusing up on blue, though. They can't quite see him. And MHL's getting flashed out. There's 1 player creeping so close. That's Thomas. What can you do from CQC? Well, Groovy from long range will take out Crucial. They see the next man back behind red. Thomas swings out. AWP from MHL up for the 4K, and in the end, he just can't make it happen. It's 4 rounds for Endpoint instead. So they go within 1 of the AGO lead here. A decent effort to try hold it out, but this time the AWP's missing some crucial shots.
I think the one thing as well in that last round for AGO, I feel like that was a bit of a misplay of the CT setup. They actually played really aggressive. I think they expected Endpoint to have a lot more of a slower default in that round. We saw Furlan getting caught off guard in that sandwich position, and Mighty Max just being able to run out T-Con and finding 2 early kills. The double AWPs come straight back in though, Jay.
Furlan inches away from taking out 1 player for a wall bang. The Mighty Max does get caught off by 1 in the end, but not to be. Positions being held by Endpoint, and now the utility played out of T-Con. Not quite as aggressive from Endpoint in this round as we would expect. Flashbangs do kind of catch catch off the T side a bit off guard. Fiku does fall out of Pop Dog, does go down in the end as a 2-for-1 trade favors the T side. Crucial making it 3 as Oscarish falls. Furlan going to flash his way through Ivy. And the M4 of Groovy close on the bomb train. He sees 2, he sees 1 actually. He does not expect the second man. And Furlan will get 1 flick back on Thomas, but he's got to fall out of there and save the AWP. They have worn down the economy state of the CT forces. Might find a secondary kill, still make it expensive for Endpoint, but it looks like a 5th round will sit pretty for the T side.
Yeah, this is ending up being very expensive for Endpoint. The last thing they wanted is to lose 2 players, especially with the economy in shatters at the moment. And Furlan, I think he actually wants to at least try and do some more damage here to find some exit kills. He's actually going to try and go for this here. And I think he may have just... I think he just got 4 by 3. Yeah. Somehow he just didn't see Mighty Max. I think that was 4 by 3 right there.
Would have given him credit if he had a smoke. That might have worked. But,
yeah, that is true.
Not to be in the end. AGO do lose control of the round, lose all their rifles, most importantly. And that AWP could have been a crutch to a force buy if they really wanted to go for it. You know, drop weapons could have come out. But Deco, half buy for the AGO side, and Endpoint will, of course, have their AK-47s in for this next one. Another Krieg out for Robin. No AWP for Crucial this time. I think he could have afforded it if the money line served me correctly, if I'm doing my maths correctly. Oh, Furlan. Damage done towards Thomas, and again, the CTs in Pop Dog will actually take a lot of Pop Dog presence here, and then Endpoint have loved to go for this on the defaults, but not going to take active control this time here, Dwayne.
I think this really just comes down to the gamble stack from AGO. I'd love to see them sort of stack in towards this A bomb site. Although we're seeing some early Brown Hall presence coming out from Endpoint, we haven't really seen too many BXs from them. Their strengths have really been going out towards that A bomb site. And I feel like, again, it comes down to the timing of when the lurking players come out. Already we've seen a sort of a 3-man stack coming out from the Polish side towards Beat, MHL in Pop Dog, and then a deep player towards Old Bomb now rotating in from Ivy of Fiku.
Crucial moving in on top of the blue train. Surreal there to cover him off. MHL peeks out. Pop gets taken out. Crucial follows suit on towards Groovy. 3 players are left standing for the AGO side as the bomb planters come through towards A, and no real retake positions here. They're best to save their Kevlar. On to a little bit extra going into the next round, and Endpoint are going to take their lead back. That's been a good effort so far from the UK boys. AGO have held a bit of a fight so far in this one. They haven't been able to press up and take the confident stance that we expect out of these guys. But again, with Endpoint's potential, they certainly have proven a lot of potential so far in this one. With the loss bonus building up, I believe that AGO should have enough to go for another rebuy here. We'll take a look at the money line specifics in a moment's time. How much have they got to work with? Oh yeah, easy.
They go double ops again.
Yeah.
Look, I think Groovy will probably drop over an AWP for Furlan, unless they want to try and go for a different setup and have 4 rifles out with that AWP. MHL's on it straight away. And yeah, look, that's what they're going to go for. So I think we might see a bit of a change in their city-sided setup rather than just starting to continue to run the double AWP setups. Endpoint, though, like Jay said, have been able to take back the lead. Surreal, this could be a quick out-of-take as well, at least to get some early information, but Surreal just gets completely off guard. And it looks like it almost felt like the teammates of Endpoint were going to rush outside with him, at least to hell. But then Surreal was just kind of all by himself, Jay.
Maybe the first casualty as a result of that. A nice simple opener for Fiku. No support, as you say. Thomas also unsupported here in Pop Dog. The flashbang coming in, blinding off Fiku, but he got that kill, and now he's so ready for Crucial to drop in. I mean, if he went down this Pop Dog area now, it would probably be suicide. Fiku's taken no damage for his 2 kills. Endpoint looking like they're a bit stuck for ideas. Oh, he drops in. That's easy! You're giving up those kills to AGO. Mighty Max left alone. 1 on 4. He's gotten himself the first. He's on for the ace, but this is impossible from here.
I feel like they should have just dropped down Pop Dog together, like having the double peek coming in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they just peeked individually down Pop Dog. Oh, almost gets his ace. Quick trade coming out from Oscarich. What a hold from Fiku. I mean, we've criticised him a little bit so far in this first half, but that was a massive round from him, and that's going to bring his confidence up.
Watch this right here. Crucial goes.
Oh, they missed it. They missed it. That's why. You actually saw them boosting on top of each other, so they actually missed the double boost down. Because that's what I was wondering, why they didn't do that. So they tried it, but they missed it.
That is just... I'm not impressed with that at all. I don't, yeah. Endpoint giving that around to AGO, offering it up as a sacrifice for their matchup. I hope that sacrifice goes pretty far. They have managed to force them down to no AWPs on the AGO side, so there's that much of the 2 kills coming in from Mighty Max, salvaging some of that round, but his first casualty in this one. A simple peek from Oscarich. No trade coming out from the T side, but they do find one over on B. MHL here standing by at the edge of Grill, takes out one, sees one top of right, gets that sprayed together against Surreal. Thomas swinging out the backside, finding out 2 more, lines them up, and gets his quadra. Crucial, however, caught off guard in the back lines, and Fiku is left last man standing. Thomas here for the ace, has the bomb, rotating towards A, incendiary back, and will force Fiku to use his smoke, and now going for the plant. What can he do from here?
I think Fiku wanted to actually rotate in through Con, or at least try and sell that fake. And Thomas on for the ace, and Fiku on 30 HP, and they're going to run into contact to one another. It's just going to come down to timing.
Oh.
Wow.
Timing was better for Fiku in that case. The smoke clearing out as he had his crosshair aimed on towards Thomas's position. And the ace is denied here.
To be fair, though, you got to be looking at Thomas, and it's like, how does he even get into a situation where he's got 4 kills and he's on for the ace in a 1v1? I mean, MHL getting 2 kills here is just stupid. I don't know how that wasn't traded quickly enough. Thomas had a fantastic round, but at the same time, you just can't rely on one person to have a massive round like that.
I'm talking about Thomas being the main man of this side for AGO, but I don't think that they need to rely on him this much. You know,
yeah.
like, you know, they need some sort of step up around it. Fiku taking Thomas to kick things off as it stands. His pop dog position, I feel like at this point.
It's funny,
that's the rifle out as well, by the way.
Well,
that's the rifle completely gone.
The one thing is it almost looked like the first 5 or 6 rounds of this game, Fiku was really struggling in Pop Dog, but things have just completely turned around from him. He's getting his confidence back, and he's shutting it down. At least Surreal's been able to pick up that AK. But it's Thomas. It's your big man that's been able to make some big plays for you, taken out early.
To recover the AK in the end for Surreal. MHL lining them up. No one checked T-Con. Surreal will turn around for a secondary frag and fall, and they might secure a bomb plant off the back of this, but you can already see Groovy's in position to try and take him out. Here they come, AWP swing from A2. Doesn't see anyone in the stopper position, so they should know that they're over T-Con's side. This is the perfect chance for Groovy to swing out with the SMG. AWP spotting out one towards Old Hell. It's all's left to Surreal. Taps up, knows that Groovy's there, and the SMG just barely misses its shots. Surreal standing by with only so much HP, but a headshot up against 1, not against 2. Groovy will finish off the job, get 10 seconds on the defuse. He should have enough time for this. Indeed he does. This will be 8 on the board for AGO. They do win the CT half.
Yeah, look, I think even in the end there for Surreal, that was opening himself up, positioning himself really nicely in that 1 versus 2 clutch. But for AGO, that's now going to be them winning out the half. 8 rounds already posted up. And the buy to come in from Endpoint. Do they go... How many... No, I don't think they've got any AK over on that city side. No, they don't. So it's just going to be that single AWP and M4s for the rest of them, Jay.
Only turning out towards the A-bomb side, but looks like a fast default play from Crucial. Instantly responded to by Greedy, couldn't quite get the shots off against them. Well, and the first casualty, the hands of Robin, a bit aggressive. No, actually, he got the shot through the smoke here, it seems. Second player also stepping up to the plate in MHL with the AWP back here, but most of the T-side forces are focusing over on that Brown Horse position. There's Pop Dog presence and passive B control. If they went for a B execute now, that could be the way in. Fiku hearing a lot of footsteps here, and Ruby gets tagged to very low HP. The nades against him. The Molotov should force Fiku back. How much further will they go with this, however? But Thomas will just sneak his way into the A bomb site, the B bomb site, excuse me. And realize that Groovy is so passive. M4 has no choice on 12 HP, and they should be able to secure a bomb plant from here.
And this is such a difficult retake now coming out for AGO. We've only got that single incendiary as really a damage dealer. We've got a couple of flashbangs as well. Thomas, quite aggressive towards that con area. Fantastic shot into Oscar Rich as well. And that's all down to Groovy and MHL. 2v4 this round, pretty much all but over now. As MHL, at least able to find one, but even more is going to be so difficult, especially with this time running quite low. There is a player towards a heaven position. Groovy gets spotted out, and now it's all down to MHL. Able to get another nice flick with the AWP, but he's still got so much more to do, Jay.
Gotta get out of dodge. He's got no more time left. Endpoint will be able to secure that final round of the half. 8-7 on the board here for the AGO side. However, they did pretty good on that CT side. You got to note some of those numbers there. Obviously, the most obvious being the fact that it's only a one-round deficit between AGO and Endpoint. No, this is a pretty good T-side half, all things considered. I'm not sure how much of that is down to the Kriegs. Even though you also got to consider the top fraggers of each team, MHL and Thomas, and you've got to consider the numbers around them as well. 4 frags separating Thomas and Robin, and only 1 separating MHL and Furlans. The 2 top fraggers are doing a much better job so far in AGO, and the spread is looking much better, I feel like, for the CTs. Yeah,
look, I mean, one thing, I think Thomas, even though you look at his stat, he's only got 14 kills, I think the amount of impact that he was able to have in that first half was very impressive. I think he was able to open up a lot of rounds. He was able to get a lot of information. He actually, considering the firepower that Thomas has, he actually did quite a lot of lurking in that first half. We saw a lot of information plays going his way, a lot of opening advantages. So I think for Thomas, I'd like to see him sort of continue his presence going into the second half, Jay.
They're going to have that second half pistol set up here for the Endpoint CT side. What will they have for us? A defuse kit for Robin. And a utility for the man? A smoke. So Ninja set up again for the CT forces and everybody else with the defaults. Same can be said for AGO, but they've dropped the P250 to MHL. So basically mirroring each other's setups from the first half pistol. Endpoint set themselves up 4 players over on the A bomb site initially. They do rotate Thomas out towards B because it's going to be fast in from Groovy. At least that's what they're going to try and sell him on. But steps downstairs over to the ramp position in MHL, taking that raid boss out to the Ivy area. Spotting out 1, tapping his way through. Bullets start flying left, right, and center between the T and CT forces, but no kills and no damage going the way of anyone just yet.
Tell you what, this is an absolutely phenomenal read from Endpoint. It almost looked like AGO were trying to sell a B fake, but even with that, Endpoint still left 4 players over to the A bomb side. Only got 1 player at B of Surreal at the moment. And it looks like finally the Ts are going to make their way to the B bomb site, but it's really discipline on the CT-sided setup coming out from Endpoint.
Also passive and very quietly defended from Surreal alone here with the USP. Flashbang in from Oscarish will now set themselves up here. They come out towards the connector push. Thomas here with the USP backed up by Crucial. Crucial does go down first casualty. Robin gets 1. Thomas struggling in his headshots, eventually gets out Groovy as Robin goes forward into a 3-on-3 situation. Fiku still pressed up here, aggressive towards the con train, tapping his way through towards Stopper, spotting out Thomas, but the headshot comes in. Surreal deals an MHL, so it's all left to Oscarish. 1v3 with his Glock on the bomb now. Waiting for them to make their way in, hearing footsteps to his left and right. Spots Thomas, taps his way, gets that first head. Next player, top of the yellow train, taps come through, he can't quite land it, and Mighty Max swings in the back and takes out the last of the defuse. Will come through from Endpoint, a very important pistol to win.
I think it was a nice retake coming out from Endpoint, considering the fact that AGO wanted to get quite aggressive, pushing up almost towards that con area. And we saw some nice kills coming out from Thomas on the retake. And Surreal staying alive as well was very impactful. 8-8, we are tied in the scoreline. And it looks like we're just going to see a very light investment. Just some diggles to come out for AGO rather than the force buy. And at least getting that bomb plant in that pistol round means that in the next round, Jay, we will see the rifles to come up.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic eco for the record. I mean, AGO tend to go for those force-ups. Expecting SMGs in the T's, but not to be here. The Eagles in on all 5 though, so there is damage potential, and we saw how much damage AGO could do against Endpoint when they had their last force buy round. Potential for a bomb plant, however, still could come through. They've got cash in the bank already. Another little bonus to the loss bonus as well. Probably could put them on a very good buy stat. At that point, the AWPs could come in for AGO. They're being a little bit careful with how they play this, though. They are hoping that someone from Endpoint gets over-aggressive. But as you said in the last round, very disciplined style of play. They're not going to push out through IVT-Con or up through the brown halls. AGO, their waiting efforts will go to waste. Time will go to waste. There's 50 seconds on the clock. They've got to make a move.
The one thing is, though, they've been able to bait out a lot of utility so far. Robin, though, going to get some information. They're going to group up 2 players towards Ivy. Good HE coming in as well. Oh, what? Furlan gets 2 kills from Pop Dog, I think.
And Oscarish gets another one on Thomas. There's a 4-on-2. There's still a chance for AGO. Talks about a hand cannon damage. And now Surreal swings out with a spray. Another bomb plant is secured. Even if they go down from here, AGO have achieved more than what they would have hoped for in this eco. Crucial gets a double. It's all left to MHL. Scout shot missing out on Surreal, and Surreal will finish off the job. But barely any investment,
wow.
And somehow Furlan coming out with that 2K does a ton of damage with Oscarish on the 3rd. A bomb plant secured. This money line is going to be bolstered, and there will be a buy coming in for AGO.
Wow, that's a massive round for the Polish side, considering, like Jay said, the light investment that they had. Another bomb plant's massive, and I love the bait and switch setup. So what they actually do is they have quite a heavy presence towards Ivy, the information seen, and as soon as the call comes out from Endpoint that there's like 3 players towards Ivy, Furlan peeks out from Pop Dog and just deletes 2 players, and that bomb plant, Jay, actually allows the AWP of MHL to come out with more utility as well.
Oh, Furlan getting aggressive. Thomas will shut him down initially. Nice stays back to the AWP. The sprays in. MHL does take Thomas out of play, though. They know that Robin's still here. Smokes up. He crosses back out. A flashbang instead, but Oscarish still able to get that trade in the interim. So a 3-on-3 with the T-Con challenge going awry for Endpoint. 1 minute and 15 to go on the clock. AGO yet to make their full-on strike. They haven't committed that bomb. They haven't lost it here.
No one's watching Ivy. Fico's able to get a free kill. There's just no one even near Ivy or watching the position. Mighty Max kind of stuck in the open in towards Sandwich with his teammate coming in from the old bomb area. Endpoint. This is going to be really difficult for them to try and hold this down.
M4 for Surreal, baited, he's got a swing on Fiku now, he knows that he's here, the SMG with the crossfire does take him down, we're back to 2-on-2, M4 bursting, needs to win out this spray, he can't do it, Mighty Max does drop that bomb for 40 seconds, he has no idea where Groovy is, but Groovy has all the info he needs, Krieg round the corner, just get the spray together. And a lot of HP still left. The SMG couldn't do enough damage. Endpoint will lose their first of the half. And with the damage being done by AGO in the last few rounds as well, that leaves them with nothing to work with. $1,400 a loss bonus. No money in the bank, I should say. They're still going to force it, though. Scouts in for Mighty and Thomas. What is the game plan here?
That was a really poor round for the last for Endpoint. Even though there was some opening duels and it was kind of put into a bit of an awkward situation. It was a 3 versus 3 at one point. But you can't just give up Ivy. You have to at least have a player watching it. I think there was a player towards E-Boxes who Fico actually killed. I'm not sure why that E-Box player isn't looking towards Ivy, or someone needs to be looking at it, considering the fact that AGO have already put so much presence in the second half towards Ivy, and we, knowing, looking back at some of their playstyles, how often they leave a lurker in Ivy, that was a big opening that AGO were able to work with. So for Endpoint, I think that's definitely something that's going to be in the back of their mind.
Oh, she's feeling out from MHL again, going to try to do some damage towards that con area, but no one's going to go for it. Instead, it's aggression from Crucial. Another teammate behind him. I think that's Surreal behind there. Deagle's up, taps through the spray from MHL, deals with him. Tries to deal with the backup as well. The tap's not quite working out. Surreal forced to reload, though, and the Krieg of Groovy can get the trade very quickly, so... Nice effort there from the push. It did not quite work out for them. Robin has a third scout, so it's all rifles out for the CT side, but they aren't going to do much damage with these unless they get headshots. They relied so much, I feel like, on those Deagles getting picks towards the brown halls and apartments areas. Now the AKs coming up to the recoveries. Now they've got full-blown rifles for the T side here.
Endpoint. Look how passive they're playing. They're using these scouts to some really long-range engagements. But if this utility is correct, like it is, they've got to smoke down towards Ivy. There's no way that Endpoint can deny this plan at all.
No. Up for a retake, but as Thomas goes down, the chances look less and less likely. But they want to save 2 scouts in Kevlar. Looks like Robin does. Yeah. No say in the matter from this point. Not enough information. Certainly not enough firepower. And AJ are happy to just sit here and wait. They might make their way out from Ivy, which might allow Mighty Max a couple of exits. Keep your eye on the scoping. Oh, this will cut off the left-hand side position.
Oh.
Don't quite see the one-man, no. They'll make their way out safely from here. Endpoint will concede the lead back to AGO. They have been fighting for it left, tooth for nail here. Got to be left to that T side once again. It will be another eco for Endpoint. They can't afford to buy here. Like, you know, the economy would just be too screwed if they decided to.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I don't think we'll see any investment coming out. I'd like to see a gamble stack. Maybe trying to get those scouts out on the A bomb site, maybe towards T-Con and Ivy. But at 10-9, AGO should be able to just extend their lead relatively easily in this round. Early HE coming out, and look at that already. Yeah. Double HEs, Crucial just taken out so quickly. Not even 15 seconds of the round has passed.
Down and out here for Crucial. Those nades being placed perfectly this time for the AGO side, but very carefully they'll play off the back of this. They do not know if Endpoint have forced around these 2 rifles, so they've got to be a bit careful with this. Smokes do go up. This one is for E-Box.
Well, they would have known, actually, with the double HE onto Crucial, they would have known that they're up against an eco with these scouts being saved over.
That Molotov thrown off, and the scout kill coming in from Mighty Max. A bit of coordination coming out. Eventually, they do take out the scout. Robin left alone with the final rifle. Back over at Stopper, back of the bomb site itself. Surreal got the PT-50 standing by. Hoping that someone gets seen here. 45 seconds to the clock. Damage sustained. Fiku gets the kill. Thomas does turn around towards Oscarish. Robin gets another kill. 2-on-2 situation. This could still be workable here for Endpoint. AWP missing its shot. Robin gets the frag. This might still work. Furlan left alone. As the bomb on his back, and somehow, some way, Endpoint managing to recover the worst of situations here. AK Spray missing it out. They can't land their shots. Thomas, USP up, Molotov against him. He'll have to be forced out the left-hand side. Actually falls back even further. The taps coming in, Furlan just can't quite seem to find his 10 seconds left. Endpoint have stalled for time. AJ have let us go a little bit too far out. He's out in the open. Spray comes in against the first man, but now he needs the bomb plant real quick here. 5 seconds, AK Spray from Robin. 3 kills for him somehow. I don't know how, but somehow Endpoint steal it away.
Oh, that's a massive round for the UK side. That could be one of their best rounds. Maybe not in terms of how pretty it was, but how in terms of impact. Because look at the economy state now for AGO. This is an opportunity for Endpoint to just break the T-side economy, which they've already relatively been able to do in this round. The 4 AKs being upgraded, a lack of utility as well.
Oh, what? Crucial! Oh, Crucial! What was that? Sit down, Fiku. Sit down, Oscarish. Furlan's low. He will try press out of E-Box. But Crucial is just styled on all of AGO. Groovy working in, turn it back to a 2 versus 2. Furlan turns it back on Surreal. And I almost feel like those efforts in the early round have gone to waste, but Mighty Max has something to say about that. 1-on-1. Rose roughly with the last man. He sees it back at Pop Dog. Does he know that he's been spotted, though? A minute to go on the clock, and Groovy has options. He's faked it, you're right.
This is massive. Now, Groovy, he can actually push towards Connect. There are so many options. And he's got so much time as well. Mighty Max, I feel like within the next sort of 10 seconds or so, must kind of know that it must be a fake play. Ruby going to fake him out with the bomb plant.
Commit to it on the second. Mighty Max going to make his way up to the left-hand side of the train. All down to timing. Who's got a better crosshair placement? It's Mighty Max. He keeps control. And Crucial is not yelling at his teammates for that. He'll grab the AWP. Big shots to start, though, Dwayne. Against all odds, Endpoint do take another one. But watch this again. The flick initially. And then that one there, followed up by this. Oh, my God. That was insane.
That's in chat. that was pretty incredible, not gonna lie. I think it's been a really long time. Like, getting 1 kill, you're like, okay, that's pretty impressive. Getting 2 kills and just speechless. Wow. And then Mighty Max to get the 1v1 in the end.
A big round for Endpoint. I don't know how much of it was down to luck, but I digress. Deco out for AGO. Speaking of the wall bags, what is this game? Robin's down. AGO, another chance.
This is becoming crazy. The walls are like paper, Jay.
A very appropriate statement, I feel like, there to make. The Eagles still looking to do something against Endpoint here. They found their first. We saw what happens when Groomy gets initial Deagle kills. Boost up. Mighty Max may really adjust against this one. Can't land his shots, though. The pistol's able to reposition against the rifles here, and they are trying to force them back. In the end, the kills start coming in towards IBC or finish off Furlan, and they do maintain control here for Endpoint.
Yeah, it looked like Mighty Max was having a bit of a difficult time there, but look, he gets the job done in the end. He's able to shut down that Ivy presence with his teammates. Now, they would have heard, because Robin, his foot touched the Molotov, so they would have known where he is, but again, it comes down to a little bit of luck. And the spam from the Deagle comes in from Groovy, and now we are going to see the bites come in. Now, what's interesting, actually, is we haven't seen a timeout come out from Endpoint at all in this best of one, whereas now, this is the second one for AGO.
Yeah. Gonna show this one again. I love it. I feel real proud to be UK right now. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man, but as you say, Endpoint not really going for any sort of tactical pauses at this stage, and I kind of understand why, because they seem to have a decent idea of what AGO are doing and how to play against it. It doesn't always work out because again, the firepower for AGO is just so good that they can force the issue with Deagles sometimes, and that last round could have been case in point right there. Like Endpoint did struggle against it just due to the mechanics right here, but strategically, I feel like they're doing a decent job of holding their own at certain points,
Yeah, look, I think Mighty Max has had some really nice CT defaults to come out from Endpoint. They have been pretty impressive. Crucial probably wants to have a look for a little bit of information towards Brown Halls, but Groovy is ready for him and just absolutely deletes him. So a good opening being found from the Polish side. And Cyril wants to try and take back that AWP, but it's going to be a difficult task, especially with how aggressive Groovy is. Ooh, actually, he does get away with it.
Doesn't get rid of HP on the drop, though, and serves Crucial right, I guess. Got done at some point, but you can never really win an AWP versus Krieg battle. It's always the Krieg that comes out on top, mostly. Endpoint now. Real, he's blinded off, and he didn't bother to fall away. Garner gets a secondary kill, a 5-on-3 situation. All of the CTs are now cleared out of the B-bomb site. Where do they go from here? The backstab coming in from Fiku over from the Ivy position.
I think it's got to be a save. I really doubt that they're going to go for this.
Unless Robin gets a second kill, maybe.
Yeah, maybe if they turn into 33. Oh, wow, they do. But look, the A players aren't moving at all. So even with Robin sort of finding 2 kills, they're just looking for exit frags at this point. At least he can upgrade to an AK.
Bit of a positive right now. Smokes in, down from Robin, just making sure he's got control. That bomb will go up, as you say. 11 on the board for AGO, bringing us back within 1 of the Endpoint lead.
I feel like this is probably the closest game that we've been able to cast so far in the Home Sweet Home event.
Yeah, so far at least. I mean, from our perspective, I don't know how
Yeah.
Kieran's side have been doing, but they've had some interesting matches as well. But surprisingly so, you know, I didn't think Endpoint would be... I thought the opportunity was there, but I didn't think they'd be able... If it was going to be a case of either AGO taking a confident stance or Endpoint taking a confident stance from my perspective. I didn't think it would be as close as it would be, to be honest. Crucial will once again open things up with an AWP kill against MHL. Unable to find anything more out of T-Con as the Ivy control is also contested, but Endpoint a bit more passive on their line.
And Money Max just going to look for a little bit of dry spam. This HE is going to definitely do some damage. Oscarich down to 77. And for AGO, they're extremely passive in this round. What they need to do at the moment, Jay, is just try and find some sort of opening and work with it. Groovy early on was establishing some Brown Hall's presence. And at the moment, there's not really any players from Endpoint that are aggressive that can get traded relatively easy. The only player is this player in Pop Dog of Robin. But even still, this position to try and clear and to take him down without being traded is so difficult. And it looks like they're just going to pass Pop Dog completely.
Focusing against Surreal here, M4. Oh, the nade! I think he heard the body block, I'm not sure. I think he may have whizzed past him, I couldn't quite tell from my angle. 30 seconds left, he's got the Incendiary standing by. As soon as he hears a footstep, he throws it down, he sees one man. Farland takes out Crucial, spraying against Groovy, denies. The bomb has crossed though, he knows that much, and he gets a dink off, does not get the kill for Oscarich. A 3-on-2 as Fiku works back in over at Ivy. He's played his position so well so far, and the AWP at close range is not able to handle it. Oscarich is left alone. They know exactly where Fiku is. They know Oscarich is last one here on the side, and now Fiku coming in from Con. They can stick the bomb, you're right about this. There's nothing he can do to deny it, as Mighty Max gets a double, and Endpoint get unlucky 13 to the board.
Yeah, look, the only way that AGO win that round is, first of all, that Fico at least stops the rotations, or at least trying to deny the time of the rotations coming in through Connector. He's able to find one kill, but with Furlan getting taken down from T-Con, it leaves Oscarich with not really much of a plan. Connector's already been taken by the CT side, and he's kind of stuck on the bomb train, and as soon as he goes down, especially with the bomb being planted in the default position, there's just nothing that Fiku can do. Really well played from Endpoint to be able to take down Furlan and Oscarich. And it's just going to be upgraded Deagles, and it might be quick into the B-bomb site. This is the first time that I feel like they've done so much presence towards this Brown Halls without anything out towards A.
Really quick frags from the rifles. Real for can be a bit pressured by the pistol players, but in the end, all 5 do stay alive by Endpoint, and the eco is over for AGO. This is their final stand when it comes to rifles. The buy will need to work out for the T's. Endpoint are now surprisingly within touching distance of taking this best of 1 here. And the AGO side will have the AWPs back out, the AKs and the Kriegs as standard. The double up setup has been most prominent from Endpoint, but so far it's working pretty well for them. A fast play out from Oscarich. Oh, this is risky. Looks like we're the only man out here. Second player following suit, very late to the party. He has established a lot of map control for the T side though.
This is massive. So MHL is holding the Ivy line, and as soon as that smoke goes down, Oscarich should easily be able to find at least 1 kill. The Thomas playing in towards the heaven position. Mighty Max though is going to be able to open up early. Crucial with the AWP, going to peek out from Ivy, and actually Oscarich isn't able to find anything. Trade coming out, MHL to find a tag, but AGO are just getting picked apart at the moment, Jay.
Deal with Oscarich pretty effectively. We talked about him being able to get at least 1 kill. Well, turns out that's not the case. Luckily so, though. You know, they're able to adjust against it for the Endpoint side. But 5-on-3 situation, MHL is extremely low. Might as well be 2 with that AWP playing so passive. The Krieg makes his way up, does deal with Crucial. One back towards A2. It is responded to by Robin. Furlan gets Thomas, so they're trying to bring this back from this position. Robin's on 8 HP. Next to that shot needs to be a headshot from him. No, he catches Furlan looking the wrong way. A small angle. MHL with his AWP. Back behind E-Box. Bomb out in the open. The CTs know exactly where it is. Got no info to work with. Is he going to fall back and save? I think he does. Map and match point for Endpoint. A big, big round for them to win here, Dweg.
The thing is, there's just no money on the side of AGO. So yeah, they'll have the AWP into the follow-up round, but they're not going to really have a lot to work with. 2 AKs up on that city side as well, and I feel like Surreal might be able to pick up one of his own. With the time running out, it's just going to be the save coming out for MHL. And Endpoint, I think going over to the CT side, they haven't really given up any opportunities for AGO to come back into this. Only 3 rounds being won by the Polish side. And he's able to pick up the AWP as well. Chuck that straight over to his teammate.
$15-11. A very broken buy for AGO. They've got to rely on these Galils and an AWP. Try and bring themselves back here. And you can see the splits coming out from the early part of things. Groovy going to try to take his face out towards upper area. The 2 rifles out towards this this Ivy position. Fiku and MHL better be ready to take some serious fragging fights. And MHL with the AWP, the smoke booms at the perfect time. Mighty Max didn't get overzealous there. Oscarish next up with the Deagle. 2 of them out towards upper. They have considered a lot of B-site control, but then the AWP will rotate for Endpoint. So they've got some defensive locked up here, Dwayne.
It looks like it's going to just be the BXE to come out for AGO. They're going to group up with the 2 players that at least establish some early Ivy presence. And 2 players here from Endpoint not having that 4-man A bomb site stack. Comes down to the AWP of Crucial and Surreal over at B.
Here come the smokes, here comes the incendiary response. Fiku taking out Robin, the T's will try hold on. Crucial with the AWP, focusing fire towards upper, does not see anyone coming out. They make their way through falling extremely low as a result. It's an easy kill for Surreal, lining up 2, does not quite take them down, but does some damage and holds some presence here on the bomb site. The train should see the plant coming out, the AWP peeks in, MHL takes down Crucial, and Fiku gets Surreal. Max and Thomas, 2 opposite ends of the map for the 2-pronged attack for this retake, if they want to go for it here, Dweg. And the AWP out, Thomas scoping in, Fiku can take him down top of White. Mighty Max has got to save. Endpoint can't quite finish the job just yet. AGO will hold on with a 12th from the T side board.
I'll tell you what, that was a really nice round from AGO. So they're into the 4-4, and I love the way that MHL as well. So a lot of the time you'll see that once the bomb's planted, the AWP player will probably, on the CT side at least, will be playing in con or the back of yellow position. Now, MHL just did not peek for so long until the bomb was actually getting planted is when he jiggle peeked out. And then for him to win that fight against Crucial really shuts it down. But Fiku as well, he came up massively in the post plant. And for Endpoint, they only need to get 1 more round here, Jay, but they are giving a hope and a chance for AGO.
Fast hit out? Okay, I thought they were going to go straight out of T-Con initially, but popped off by utility there from the Endpoint side, and the AWP set up to try to do with the AWP of the T side. Crucial. Still trying for those wall bangs here. He hit 2 in succession, but he's not hit any more since. He does get further, however, out towards Olaf position. MHL with a beautiful flick to return, though. Warper taken out for the CT Forces, a 4-on-4 situation. They have got Pop Dog presence and passive B control, but most of the position, again, from Endpoint has been pretty passive across the entire line.
And that's a massive AWP pick for the AGO lineup to be able to take down Crucial. Robin's so low as well, that molly. I feel like even with that smoke down, the molly was actually still spreading towards him. He gets down to 20 HP. And it's only Surreal here at the B bomb site. And he's already used his incendiary really early. There's just under a minute left on the clock, but he's really running out of utility here.
Oh, awkward smoke. Surreal panicked. AWP of MHL still focusing on Con. Also out, he's going to get seen as Achilles heel. A spray from Surreal doing damage, not getting the frag. In the end, Oscarish can punish that position, and Thomas will also go down. It's a save call from the CTs immediately. No way they're going to make this retake happen. And Endpoint getting a bit complacent here. They're letting this fall a little bit too far out position. This might go the full 30 rounds here, Dweg. Endpoint only need 1 to finish off the job.
Look, I think definitely the chance of going to 30 rounds looks pretty good at the moment. The one thing that AGO have been able to do really well is not allow Crucial to get picks at the moment. The last couple of rounds, he's really struggled to find anything. And it's been MHL winning the AWP battle twice now against Crucial, 2 rounds in a row. And that's really giving them a lot of success because Crucial, especially in the retakes, has been able to have a lot of impact and finding a lot of kills. But 13 to 15, 2 rounds the difference between these two sides, and this is going to be an eco. I don't think that they surely can't force up the back of this AWP and AK. The best that they can do here is try and take as much damage as possible. Try and break that economy.
They can do that. It might be the leg up they need. Mitchell and Groovy initially out towards the brown halls here for the AGO side. Nothing's off in the defaults here, and you can see Surreal's in a bit of an awkward position. On the mini map, it looks like he's looking towards the wall in front of the in front of the ram. So I was like, that's a bit curious, but no, he's actually backed up over to the other position. Robin, come on, mate. This is reaching a little bit now. The first two were good, and now, you know, let's focus on, like, you know, tenable opportunities to win the rounds here. AWP back up on top of Red Tray and flashbang in for the pop dog. Control doesn't actually go for it, instead focuses back on the Ivy area, just as AGO also look to contest it here.
Ruby, what he's doing here is just basically showing his legs, and they're going to pick down together, and they're able to take him out pretty easily. Crucial does actually find one pick, but Ruby's able to trade him out. 50 seconds left on the clock. And they still have sort of some options to go for, but it looks like it is going to be the outer take to come out. Robin's actually quite aggressive with this AWP, though.
Going to land the first shot. Completely flying for the second. The AK turns on to try to do some damage, but in the end, both rifles are taken out, so it's all Surreal with the Deagle. Good kill for the first. Burning alive, and the second does not go down. And we will go a full 30 rounds here, Tweg. What's happened to Endpoint? Got one final buy here. I don't think they can afford the AWP. Well, I mean, Mighty Max could do so, but the glass cannon, if anything else.
Now, one thing is, you have a look at Surreal. He's the B bomb site anchor. He doesn't have enough money for an incendiary grenade in this round. Now, we've seen Crucial rotate over through Com with the AWP to have a double B site stack. So I'm interested to see whether Crucial doesn't have an incendiary either. So if they just go for some sort of quick BXE or just a BXE in general, it's going to be a really difficult hold coming out from Endpoint.
More tech issues on the part of the Endpoint side, so a moment just here to fix it. But even so, M4s and the SMG out, the AWP and the AKs and the Kriegs coming in for AGO. All blown buys from both sides, but most certainly the T's have the better one. MHL burning quite significantly. Good flash molly combo. Couldn't get the kill for it though. Robin pressed up initially over to the pop dog area as he has been kind of been taking so far. Oscarish, Molotovs against him, and they couldn't quite get to response positions. They do know that Robin's there though. They did see him.
And that was the double HE play, I think. Or at least one HE. Robin down to 65. See if he gets forced out of this pop dog position. Looks like he wants to throw a HE of his own. And it really just comes down to timing, especially in this pop dog position. Winning it out as the of either side is always a difficult exchange. And are they going to go aggressive through ramp?
Oh.
Look at this from Furlan, though. Furlan could shut this down.
It's risky. High risk, high reward situation here for Endpoint.
They're not going to see him. They're not
Oh
going to
no,
see him.
no way.
Oh,
Farlan, he didn't see them.
He did now.
Round
he did
the
now.
corner, Oscarish goes down. Crucial has opened things up. They still haven't got their back turned. Farlan is here towards the B-bomb site. Surreal's running in with his knife, and Farlan takes him down. Groovy also in pop. Crucial in a very, very awkward position. Caught sandwiched between three individuals at this stage. 20 seconds. Mighty Max will get the kill on Fiku. The bomb site has been picked up. This push actually might have worked. It was a big risk maneuver, but I think it may have potentially hold out. If Crucial can get this kill, then they would have certainly won the round. Now Robin swings in here from Pop Dog. Drops MHL. 10 seconds left. Can't deny the bomb plant from here, but he will still try his best. Going down towards Furlan's side. It's a 2 versus 2. Retake in from Max and Thomas. Both coming in from from Con. And the M4 first up, the burst in from the Krieg. They know where one man is. Thomas, if he sees this player, it would probably be the end of it here. It will all rest in the hands of Furlan. Indeed, it does. As Mighty Max gets his blind shot, both players now going to come in and stick the defuse. No smokes, but no kit either. 10 seconds to it. Thomas drops in. Furlan's right around his corner. Thomas is denied. Mighty Max can't get the frag. Has he done this? I think he might have just done. Towards upper. Max got the kit now. Sticking to 5 seconds. Here comes Furlan with a peek. Sees him, sprays, and gets us to overtime for AGO. Endpoint with the 200 IQ plays, but it was not enough. Oh man, Dwayne, oh man.
Wow, that was such a crazy round. That was just utter chaos coming out in the end there for Endpoint. So it all just comes down to timing, really. Furlan was having a look towards a heaven play, and the aggression comes up towards ramp, and then once the exchange happens there, Robin decides to come up through Pop Dog, and there's just utter chaos going on. But in the 2 versus 2, it is going to be Furlan to win it out in the end, and we're going to OT. Now, from XCOM AGO's standpoint, they've got to be, like, thriving at this point. They've won 4 rounds in a row to take us to OTJ.
Been an effort and a half from AGO. Endpoint had the game won, but things kind of fell apart here. And again, it all came down to this. No one was marking off Furlan. Thomas hesitated for a moment, gave up the information. If he fell back to a passive angle, then maybe sure. If he fell back slowly, more importantly, then I think the opportunity would have been there. But no utility there for the Endpoint side. And that was the crucial thing that cost them, I feel like. 15-15, as I say, we are on for an overtime here, Dwayne, and well, at this point, all talk goes out the window. It's all just game. So close for that British side, you know. How must they be feeling at this stage, knowing that they got so close to ending it in regulation?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's difficult. If you've got a strong in-game leader that is able to, you know, have a mental effect on the team, he'll be able to sort of be like, come on, guys, you know, it's all right. Look, we gave them OT. We'll bring it back. We were the stronger team in the second half. But look, you've kind of got to be a little bit demoralized. You almost had the victory in your hand and it just sort of fell away. I think for Endpoint, was a late resurgence coming out from the Polish side, but these 4 rounds that they were able to win in a row, they looked good. They looked really sharp. They were getting opening picks. They were taking, the big thing was MHL winning the AWP battles. 2 out of the 4 rounds that they won towards the end there, MHL was able to win the AWP battle twice against Crucial, and for Crucial's sake, for him, he feels like, well, he's not having an impact anymore.
Doing the impact he's had so far in this one, the mental game must be wrecked, but we'll see how wrecked it will be going into this overtime. It is MR3. Endpoint will start things off on the CT side with 16K.
Love it. I think it's the first overtime for Home Sweet Home as well. From remembering back to the best of 3s yesterday, in the evening, there was no OTs there, so this is the first OT of Home Sweet Home Week 1.
What a game it has been so far here, Dwayne. The question at the moment is who will take control of it. It's a double AWP setup for the first time coming in from Endpoint. Crucial and Max have their setups towards, well, actually both players on the A-bomb site here, from Ivy and from backlines over on the blue train and red train cross. 5 players stacking up from AGO, pressing in initially with the utility players, and now they're going to use a majority of it just to fake it out and pull their attention towards the A site. B is going to be the hit. M4 for Surreal, Incendiary to return from him and try and stall for a bit of time. Smoke down all the same to try and keep them suppressed. How far would he press with this one overall? You know, the CTs aren't going to go for a back to the flash is over. He's got a lineup of a spray for 2, dropping that bomb. Crucial then, support with the AWP on upper. And now Fiku and Oskarish, the last players left standing. Fiku caught off by Robin, still sitting here in Pop. Molotov will stop him from making his way up, but Fiku's lost a lot of HP. This round surely must go to Endpoint from here.
That's a fantastic hold coming out in the B bomb site. It was actually a really interesting play. So Surreal actually re-aggressed to have quite a close quarter range of a fight towards that ramp room. And the teammates just kind of clean up as well. We saw the AWP of Crucial finding a pick, and then Robin 2 in the end. So AGO not finding a single kill. And even with the double AWP setup coming out, it was really down to the rifles that were doing most of the work, Jay.
Endpoint obviously that's a big, big one to take control of. And partially in a good positioning and good spray potential. AWP for MHL, the AKs and Kriegs back in for the buy-ups here, and the double AWP setup for Crucial and Max works up pretty well, but it wasn't as prominent as other setups have been in the past. MHL with the opening kill. This time there was pop. No one's going to cover it off here. Thomas has got a big gap. He's going to concede here. 2 frags for MHL. The 5-on-3 situation, and the double ops are going to have to step up big time. Crucial with one in the back of the bomb site, lines it up on Fiku. I don't know if their teammate behind him would have fallen down to the collateral, but either way, Max will chime in the other side of the crossfire. 3-on-3 now. Blue Train is contested. Max has not got the info on this man just yet. MHL towards cross, all 3 players in the back line for Endpoint. They're expecting this to be an A commitment, and they're not going to retreat. AGO have let Oscarish get quite close to this one. Flashbang's over. Max can deal with him. Drop that bomb. MHL left alone, and Crucial swings out for his 3K. 17 for Endpoint. They're looking for their flawless OT.
Can I just say something? Hello, I'm speaking to Endpoint here. You run the double AWP setup, and you get 5 kills with 2 AWPs. Why didn't that come out in the city side? Like, we only see the double AWPs coming out in overtime, and look at the impact that they've had.
Oh, then double nays on Oscarish to start things off. 1 HP. The Molotov to follow suit. Endpoint have found the reads. They found the playbook, I feel like, and they've studied it back and forth in that OT break. Next up the face, Robin will try and see if he can challenge on towards Groovy. Contact left and right, but no kills going their ways just yet. It's Crucial that opens things up on the A hit. Groovy turns it around, followed with a response, and Crucial with a brilliant shot. A split second away from taking Oscarish. In the end, he finds it, and Max recovers with 2 more to a 3K overall. 18-15, Endpoint are looking on point as they go to this one. A beautiful, beautiful half from them.
I can't believe the last 2 rounds, Endpoint have killed all 5 players from AGO twice with AWPs. 5 AWP kills coming out in the last 2 rounds. It's ridiculous. The really nice shots being hit from Mighty Max. Not someone that I've ever really seen AWPing at all, Jay.
Endpoint finding every single kill. This is looking good. This is looking real, real good. The double AWPs, the M4s in, and the AKs, the Kriegs, everything. Going into their second half, the T side, they brought it pretty close, you know. It was AGO that had them lead at the end of the first half when they were on the CT side. Endpoint did have an 8-7 though. This one really is down to the wire and could swing either way, but Endpoint have a match point. Just have to get the round. 1 last round is all they need. If they can get this first pick towards Ivy, that would be a start. They're playing very passively, though. They're playing carefully against what AGO have.
Ivy presence early on for Endpoint. They need to deal with Furlan with the AWP. MHL as well, actually with the AWP over to the B bomb site. Crucial with a boost up towards Ivy, but even for Furlan, he's decided to reposition. Surreal's been able to take down one of the B anchors, and Smoke to come out, and that might even pull another rotation up from an A player.
They found the first. 55 seconds for Endpoint to push in and go for the execution. But Ivy control just falling back to a standing position here at T-Con, looking like it's going to be an A execute here. They've got a couple smokes and a few flashbangs. Not enough to go for a full-blown execution, but be enough for a setup at least. Free looking to face around the corner here as first contact from Surreal comes in. The AWP and M4 from passive angles as well. Smokes up to his positions, counter incendiaries, and he's hit back from the CT side. Two players spotted, lined up for Oskarish, not getting his triple. Mighty Max turns around, Furlan swings out from E-Box, drops that bomb. 15 seconds, gets a secondary kill, and that might be enough to keep AGO alive. Robin left, back up at Olaf, 10 seconds left to the clock. The Kree gonna try and fight out of a corner from here, but they know he's suppressed, they know he's low, and Furlan gets his 3k in the end. AGO not ready to die just yet.
Yeah, they're definitely not giving up without a fight. Fantastic hold coming out from Oskarish. Then the aggression from Furlan with the AWP, fighting two players on a extremely off angle. Like, if that smoke wasn't there for T-Con, there was no way that Furlan could have gone for that play. But it works out fantastically for him, already reaching 30 kills at Endpoint. They only need a single round here. Fiku, I don't know if they would have known a player's gone out early. That's massive from Surreal.
They're going out quick as well. They'll catch off Oskarish completely blind. Furlan goes falling, and a rush play from AGO. Oh, sorry, from Endpoint, excuse me. Might be enough to punish the Poles. 2 versus 3. Groovy is so low. MHL has got to do the heavy lifting. We talked about him being a player to stand. Will he stand up now for the AGO side? The M4 pushing into the bomb train, checking out the hell corner. Orb shots connect to Robin, 6 HP. He's legged, he's dead. And MHL and Groovy are both known elements. Good kill from Crucial, 1 versus 1. MHL going to tap the bomb, one's peek out with a CZ. And somehow they've managed to make it happen. 2 kills for MHL, Groovy getting 1 as well. And that keeps us alive again.
That's unbelievable that they win that. And the 2v3, considering they're both coming in from the same angle, and with Groovy being so low, that was super impressive for the retake to come out. And I almost thought that MHL was just going to stick the defuse in the end. But that's 2 rounds in a row now for AGO. 1 more to go to double OT.
Flawless half from Endpoint, a flawless half from AGO perhaps. Good kill from Crucial. They're going to go fast in again against the AWP of MHL. He's not quite able to respond. I think his head hit the ceiling, so he couldn't drop in and take the quick shot as he wanted to. Fiku takes out Mighty Max, drops that bomb in the brown halls. And the swing of confidence that Endpoint had on their CT side is somehow translated over to AGO. MHL expecting CT presence to be here. Thomas will pick up the bomb. As soon as that smoke clears, Surreal's got to get MHL, and indeed he does. 3-on-3 scenario. He's got to support the rotation coming in. The bomb plant needs to be secured. It's not quite here just yet, and a big gap for Oskarish to work with, Dweg.
Yeah, him with the AWP, he's got to be the anchor here. Bomb crossing out, Oskarish going to be out of land first. Surreal going to find the trade, 2 versus 2, and Fiku's very low as well. But we've seen these retakes come out before from AGO. Where do they decide to plant? Do they just go for the default position? Looks like that's what they're going to go for.
2-on-2 retake in for AGO. They've come back from worse. They can't count them out just yet. AWP in from Fiku. The Deagle up crossing the trains here. Surreal hears it. And he's going to get caught off by Furlan. That's a big frag. It's all to Robin now. Knows that Furlan's on the left-hand side. They'll both peek up. He'll get himself back over past Grill and past the other side of the white train. Smokes on, tapping the bomb. Robin's got to stick this. Spray doesn't work. Fiku's on the bomb still. And AGO have done it again. 3 rounds in a row to go to OT2 and Endpoint. Just can't go past the last hurdle.
These retakes, Jay, these retakes have been unbelievable coming. Like, the thing is, when Endpoint were able to get 3 rounds in a row on their CT side, they were just shutting down the round. They weren't retakes. But I just can't get over how strong these retakes have been, and Endpoint have just not been able to deal with it in the post plants.
I don't know what to say, honestly. Like, I thought Endpoint had got it won. They started off the first round of the half so well, and then AGO went and did that. We go to round 37 of our best of 1. And you can see AGO with their swing of confidence Now try to look for another flawless half here in our second OT. Double offset coming out from MHL and Furlan, the M4s in as well. And the AKs and the Kriegs in on for the Endpoint side. They've been so close to winning this so many times. Crucial dropping down into the Pop Dog area. The Molotov will force him away. And Fiku, we backed up with the M4. Control his Pop Dog position like he's done so many times so far here. Dwayne and Endpoint are not going to try to contest them.
And this might just be a simple AXE to come out for Endpoint. It just kind of comes down to who's going to be able to win the first T round. The execution coming out, but it's going to be Fiku again. It's him in Pop Dog that's been able to just do so much damage.
Another player going to drop in. It was a 1v1 face. I think they may have whiffed that double stack again. Fiku swinging out, gets Thomas as well. Oh, the AK spray from Oskarish is blind. He's got the bomb. Crucial's alone, and he's probably out of this one. No amount of wall bangs will help you today, son. Furlan will finish off the job, and it will be AGO taking the lead back from Endpoint.
That's unbelievable. And you got to think as well, if AGO are able to get another flawless half, Jay, Endpoint are on the other side just losing 6 rounds in a row. That's like the mental game that starts to come into play.
A tech pause going to get called in this overtime. Only seen 2 attacks coming in from AGO. Endpoint have not used one of their attacks so far.
I think you're right there.
The rebuys from this T side, obviously we'll see the AWP and the Krees coming into play. They need to find a way to shut down the defensive. This is looking like AGO's earlier mid-half on their CT side. Double orb setup to contend with as well. This has been such a good setup, such a reliable setup for AGO here. Not only in this match, but in the past as well. How do they respond on this T side? Let's look at the defaults. Or upon Crucial, he's going up to Brown Halls, backed up by Surreal. I think a third player also in that position. It's actually the challenge from Groovy with the the Creek, excuse me, not the AWP. Out there, the first shot sprays on, connects it to both.
What?
How does he get away with that?
That's unbelievable that he gets traded out by the Molly of all things. And this might actually just spark some sort of quick play to come out from Thomas. Now, at this point, it's a 3v4. Endpoint need to try and get some sort of individual play. So we're kind of going to see Robin make a play out through Ivy. Now, he's in the back lines. And they would have known the Ivy presence was there, but they don't expect this position at all. Now, if Robin's able to get the timing right and Thomas fakes a little bit of Pop Dog control, they might actually be XE here. And it all comes down to the information that Robin's going to be able to find.
Rig up AWP of MHL. He has no idea. He hasn't got the slightest clue. Headshot easy to a 3-on-3. Endpoint have an opportunity to converge on this bomb site. They need to Robin to get the position. They can't challenge him alone. Oscar's going to take down Thomas. He's got another 1v1 against Vitimax that he could win. He does end up taking the frag, but meanwhile, Robin's going to get dealt with by Furlan. They should have waited for him to get to position. This nade will finish the job. Sayonara, Max. AGO have 2 in a row on this second overtime. Watch this kill. Oh, this double kill again from Groovy. That basically won the round in my eyes. Yeah. He should not have been allowed to get away with that.
1 kill, understandable, but to get 2 is just fantastic. 5 rounds in a row now. 2 rounds in a row in this half. AGO up 20-18. Mighty Max probably going to go fast out towards the held position. A lot of information seen early, but he wants to continue this fast aggression, and he gets taken out from Oscarich.
Desperately trying to get something going for his side. Some sort of round in this first half to make sure they're not going to get locked out at a match point once again. Incendiary to respond here from Fiku. We've got Thomas backed up here in the corner, the AK. Little does he know that Fiku's right in front of him. The pop flash in. He's going to try to look for the man. He's not noticed the reels there. There you go. That's a kill. That's a start. But what did Endpoint do from here?
They're re-smoked out. Now, Oscarich can get aggressive in towards T-Con if he wants to try and at least deny some presence coming out from the Pop Dog players. MHL, though, going to be able to try him together with AWP. A tag as well, Jay.
2 players down, 1 left in Crucial. A hero-like play if he can make this clutch happen. He's got the first to Furlan. Groovy swings in from Pop and pops him down. 21-18 here for the AGO side. That was impressive so far, and they've got another half right here to where they could very easily win. Endpoint, though, they have done quite the effort to stay alive in this one here.
The thing is it's unbelievable, Jay, to think that we're in the OT, double OT of Train, and there has been 9 rounds won on CT and 0 rounds on T. So AGO, all they need is 1 round, but we said the same in the first OT for Endpoint.
I have a feeling that AGO might be in a state right now that they'll be able to take this over the edge, though, Dwayne. I think the Endpoint are, they might be a little bit tilted. You know, it's typical UK sort of mentality, I feel like, at this point to be, like, you know, so close, and now you're back on this match point situation where you're on the back foot. And for them, what is the mentality feeling like there? I realize that scoreboard is a bit soft, by the way, Dwayne, so bear with us 2 seconds and we'll sort that out. AWP in for Crucial and Mighty Max once again, this time on the Endpoint side. M4s, AKs as standard, and look at AGO getting aggressive initially, looking to try and see if they can end this one real quick here. Max not seeing the players out Pop, focusing on T-Con too much, and very aggressive they'll get here from AGO, straight up to the bomb site. 2 players to line up for Fiku, he spots out 1. In the end, Ruby takes him down, but Thomas is there with a trade. Mighty Max follows towards the back lines. Furlan holding onto it, 3 versus 3. And Max at CQC does go down 2 on 2. Surreal holding out from Con, and Crucial at the edge of the smokes gets himself a double. And Endpoint on the brink of defeat, still hang in there somehow, Dwayne. I don't know how they're doing this.
I think the play on the T side, which we haven't really seen, we just need to see a full fast exi. You got double orbs to play against Endpoint. You want to try and utilize that utility and just get something quick out. I think that's what AGO tried to do in the last round, but they got a little bit unlucky with the flashbangs as Fiku had information but wasn't able to connect onto some kills. Oh, that was close. That was close.
They really want to give Crucial a taste of his own medicine, I feel like. He was out at Ivy, so he wouldn't have received it. They have flushed out this T-Con position. They will look to push into Pop Dog. The M4 here of Robin is actually getting quite aggressive. Are they ready for this? The Molotovs will force him back in the end, so they get the info that he is here in Pop. Are they ready for the double drop? Very careful from AGO here, knowing that Endpoint still have a defensive to hold. The double up setup from Crucial and Max has done the job.
AGO, they just need to work with an opening frag, some sort of advantage. Is it through Pop Dog? Robin has to try and deal with a couple of players, and he spots out Groovy early on. Robin's going to fall back, opening man advantage given up to the UK side.
The first frag found, and AWP for Max here. Flashes over, will return away. The smoke's in. Oscarish bringing his hands and over at the Pop Dog area, thinking he might want to drop into this one. Smokes up, and the AWP for Crucial. Ready for the next contact towards B site. Indeed, he gets it. Nice and easy against Furlan's head. Spraying from Robin deals with Oscarish. And Endpoint are making it look easy once again on this CT side. Fiku next to 4. MHL left alone in a 1-on-5. And AGO, now they're the ones that can't get past the final hurdle here, Dweg. Endpoint, I could have thought it was going to be mentality issues. Maybe it's just this CT side. The 10 seconds left for MHL, and this T side will not be able to end off the round that they need. It will be 21-20 with a single round to go here in this OT. AGO still on match points.
I think for the T side, this is both for AGO and Endpoint. They've just been struggling so much with the double AWP presence out on the CTs. I just can't believe in OT, double OT of Train, we still haven't seen a single T round go either way. Look at Furlan, 38 kills, really stepping up.
Wish it was enough, I think, at this point for the AGO side. They just wish that his kills and his impact had enough to get them past that hurdle. Back to passiveness. Here comes Ruby with a chance to spray, doing so much damage. Eventually catches Fiku for an opening frag. Robin opening up the scenario here for Endpoint. Still holding here in Pop Dog is going to get forced out by the Molotov, a secondary Molotov back in, and he will be forced out of Pop Dog entirely, losing a lot of his HP, but AGO just trying to force the issue. They're still down by a man.
Surreal. I think this is the first time he's played this kind of an off angle at the B bomb site. Will AGO be ready for it? Crucial, holding down the high lines towards heaven.
One cross, like we ought to take him down. A second player and a third player also going forward. Groovy deals with both though on the site. Crucial and Surreal having a lapse in attention, I feel like. And there's 2 picks to go their way. A bomb plant down towards default. A 3-on-2 scenario here, Dweg. All of the T's that remain is Max and Thomas. 2-on-2 now. Thomas making his way in. Spray is going to get Orca for Groovy, and Thomas wins it out. It's all to MHL. Now, they were in a situation like this. Endpoint, very similar to their match point ending. Up in the bomb once. Thomas up against it. MHL with the AWP. Smokes down, faked out. 2 players peeking, and the defuse should come in pretty quick here. Endpoint will take us to a third overtime. Oh boy.
It's just going to continue. I cannot believe.
Here's the thing, it's like, you know, these are back-to-back flawless halves from both sides, right?
You never see that
in overtime. No. Usually when a team wins those 3 rounds, it's so hard to bring it back from the other side. How they've managed to do this, I don't know.
The double orbs have really just been able to have so much of a presence. And a lot of the time, even with just some of the M4s, I feel like that the M4s have been able to win out the opening kill against the T side almost every round so far. And even in that round, we saw Groovy having a massive round. He gets 2 kills with his rifle, 1 with the incendiary, but it still puts it down into a 1 versus 2 in the end there. I feel like if Groovy was able to get maybe his 4th kill, Jay, then yeah, maybe they win that round. But again, it's individuals that are trying their absolute hardest on this T side to just win a round.
It feels like that 1 round will be the difference maker. As soon as we get that 2-1 half, like we might
100%.
just know.
Yeah,
I think
so.
Might well just be the turning point here. So, and for both sides, their CT side have been strongest. So AGO are looking to try to turn their advantage, I feel like, at this stage. But once again, the same setups coming through. All these flashbangs in from both sides, and Furlan already press up to the Olof position. It's Mighty Max there in Ivy, hoping that he'll show his face. He's going to play passive and wait for the rest of the setup to come in. He is the linchpin player. If he can make some noise over on this A-bomb site, potentially get a backstab when the execute comes in towards B, that might be the player. Look at Surreal, receiving flashbangs and some bullets his way. He'll fall back a little bit. Hearing all these shots coming through now, Furlan looks to try and strike. Look at him creeping up top of the green train. Seeing one at Con, takes him down. That's a good start. Rest of the C's are actually going to go ahead and rotate back towards this bomb site. Furlan there with a double kill for the opportunity now. MHL taking Robin out. Crucial and Surreal. Last 2 players left, and I feel like they may be forced to save from here, Dwayne. I think AGO have finally found that round that tips them over the edge.
That was absolutely fantastic from Furlan. So what it looked like the strat was going to be is that 4 players are kind of around this B halls area, and then Furlan is just trying to make a play. As soon as he gets information, they bring the bomb back over to that A bomb site. He gets 1 kill, and it's like, yeah, all right, let's bring the bomb over towards A, but for him to find 2 is absolutely massive, considering you don't normally expect a lurker to find 2 kills like that for you to open up a round. If he gets 1 kill, he's done his job, but Furlan just took it to another level, and finally, Jay, we are going to see a T round go into the favor of at least one of these teams.
Is that going to be the one that tips it over the edge here for AGO is the question that I am left asking here. As for Endpoint, we've seen flawless sides. We have seen plenty of them so far. I think 12 rounds in a row going to CT favors. AGO right now, they want to keep this T-side streak rolling. They want to keep their own round win streak rolling so they can try and win this overtime. One thing that eludes both teams here. Double orbs in for Crucial and Max once again. Reliable setup that worked pretty well so far. Look at the CTs going here, however. Not towards the Ivy position. This could be a bit of a weird position for Mighty Max. In the end, he's focusing on too many areas at once. He falls back. MHL takes him out. 5-on-4 scenario. AGO an early advantage. Look at Fiku's swing. Thomas is not ready for that. AWP against Orb. Leg shot against MHL. And Fiku's going to be allowed another kill perhaps? Yes, he is. 2 frags to his name. Ace sights open for business.
I think this is going to be another T round for AGO. And rather than just executing out towards A after just finding 2 picks, they just bring the bomb over to the B bomb site once the rotates have already come in for the city side. And Fiku has had just an unbelievable round. He's going to be able to find his 3rd kill onto Surreal. And not a single kill being found by Endpoint. And I think this is definitely could be the end of them here. 1 T round almost felt like it was enough, Jay, but now with 2, the confidence comes out for AGO to potentially even 3-0 on the T side.
Off the Endpoint have fought so hard as well. Again from Fiku. The swing out and confident play on the bomb train. 3 kills all in all. And again, as you say, that is confidence. That is a position that Endpoint need to be concerned about. They are going to need to fight hard in their own T side. Look at Max and Crucial here towards Ivy. They need to get at least 1 round out of this position. It's 2 kills to be found, and both of them go the way of the T side. MHL, 2 good AWP kills. Crucial and Max down and out of round 45. Thomas waiting for more Ivy presence, but they're going to fall back out of this one. AGM probably going to realize the trade opportunity is there and play the rest of the default.
And Oscar, she's just waiting for Robin to get aggressive to get an information play out for the CT side. And AGO, they might just rotate over towards B bomb site now that they know they've been able to take down another member towards that pop dog area. There's only 2 players to deal with, and they're split. They're not playing together. Thomas and Surreal, they're gonna gamble stack towards the A bomb site. I feel like it's probably the best read that they can come out with.
It'll be the right one as well, but unfortunately the presence here from the T side is a bit too much to handle. Fiku will end it off. 3 rounds in a row for the T side here, Dweg. And again, that's something to be concerned about if you're Endpoint.
Oh, definitely. I honestly thought that if AGO were to win 1 T round, that they would run away with this game. But for them to get 3, I'm not going to say that they can relax and maybe, you know, catch your feet up, but that puts them in such a better position now going into their CT half where they have really looked flawless.
They have, you know, they've looked brilliant so far in this one. I compare all to the Endpoint CT sides and the AGO CT sides, and finally it feels like something's going the way. The AGO squad. So a lot more work needs to be done, though. There is another half in this overtime alone, Dweg. We go to our... What is this, our 6th half of overtime so far? Something like that?
Yeah, it would be, yeah. Overtime 3, so 6th half. So I think that makes
there's a point where you just stop, you just lose track, you know?
So I think it's 12 CT rounds to 3 T rounds so far in OT, which is, again, something you just don't see at all.
Well, here we go. Match point for AGO, but we've seen how many match points have realistically gone the way of these 2 teams so far. The double ops coming in for AGO, the single op again for Crucial as they play it carefully initially on the Endpoint squad. Molotovs are standard, the smokes and the AKs, the AWP as well, MHL. Falling back in passive, actually Osprich is taking point and he's in the sandwich smoke position. Unable to see any T-side presence. The sprays are close, but they're not able to land here. Fiku point blank against one at Pop Dog. Thomas is right there. Osprich starts on Mighty Max. Surreal deals with one. Oscarish and MHL get themselves the cleanups, and they've gone right past Fiku. They think they're safe. Think again. And they think it's done on AGO. One final lockout to close it out. It took them a very long time to get there, Dwayne, but in the end, they will finally